Hi everyone. So now that we're done with with phase three, we're gonna jump into phase four, and now it's our time to get all we did in our exploration, all the research, and start applying into a paradigm. We're gonna start organizing our thoughts. So to begin with, I would like to share a little bit of what it is a paradigm. So every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. A character wants something, he actively pursues his goal, he either gets it or not. So something has to happen from the beginning to the end. If you tell a story and nothing happens, you will not have a satisfying ending. So it's simple as that. A character wants something, he goes for it, and he gets it or not. So that shows we have a clear beginning, a middle, and ending. Even sequence, they have a beginning and middle and ending. Everything you do, no matter the size of it, no matter if it's a sequence or no matter if it's a feature, you need to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Or at least you need to reveal some information, and move the story forward. So you have to tell something with your story. You can't just tell something that doesn't go anywhere. So you have to get somewhere. So I'm going to share a little bit about what it is a paradigm. So the paradigm is um, this chart that you see here. I'm going to use an example. So when you're structuring your idea, you should first ask yourself, what does my character wants? So then when you know what he wants, you go for your paradigm. So your paradigm needs to have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So in the beginning of this story, your character, he's just living his life the way he lives, and then something happens. And then your character he wants to keep pursuing his goal. So he keeps moving forward, but there's a lot of obstacles in his way. So throughout this little section here, which let's call it maybe a second act, maybe. Uh, so you see there's a lot of obstacles going on. And in the midpoint of this paradigm, the stakes are bigger. The stakes are raising. So, and then there's a moment that everything is ruined. Like your character is in the always lost moment. But then here he gets an epiphany. So he realizes uh, what he really wants. And he realizes he has an arc completed here. And then we go to the third act. Let's call it that, and then we lead to the ending. So basically, in a easier way, we have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. Something happens. Uh, and a lot of obstacles comes uh, in your character's way. Then gets to a point that the damage is so big that we go to the always lost moment. But then your character has a realization, an epiphany. And then everything's set to balance, but your character is different now. So it's a structure you use for feature films, but you can always use for a short story that like you're gonna tell. It doesn't have to be complicated, but your character needs to go through some sort of change. Your character need that's all these stories, they need to have some kind of change. Your character go through some kind of um, change, an interior change or an exterior change, but it has to be some sort of change. So now I'm gonna share the paradigm of my story. If you go here, it's gonna open Photoshop. So as we see here, I built another paradigm similar as this one, and I'm going to use this as a basis to explain what is my plan. How based on my exploration, what is the thought that the thoughts that I how are we going to organize the story, you know? So in the beginning, before I start everything, you're gonna have to ask, what does my character want? So the character is me. So what I want to watch Game of Thrones real bad. You know, that's all I want. I just want to watch it. You know, because I love it, and I just want to watch it. You know, and then so we set the beginning. You know, and then I want to watch Game of Thrones. You know, since the beginning. Then Kate brings a giant bag of pretzels. You know, and start chewing it. You know, and making a lot of noise, so I can't focus. You know, so in the middle, I blow up, you know. I just yell at her. I just can't stand anymore because she keeps chewing, you know, chewing. She doesn't stop, and I can't focus. So I just blow up, and then I yell at her. I said, you know, just stop it. You're annoying me, you know. And so you see, that's the midpoint. The stakes are bigger, you know. So I just blow out of proportion. I get upset, you know. Then I stormed. She's kind of is rude back to me, you know. She tells me like just to chill out, you know. So I get really, you know, I just lose it, you know. So I storm back to my room, you know, and that's the always ruined, always lost moment, you know. So she's upset, I'm upset too in the room, you know. So we're both upset, you know. Then I see Kate crying, you know, and I open the door, I see that she's crying, you know, and that really hits me. I realize how much egotistical I've been, you know. I've been thinking about myself, you know, and she loves pretzels too, and but I'm just thinking what I want to do, you know. So that's my epiphany. I realize, wow, I need to share, you know. It's a relationship, you know. I need to learn how to share. So from that, yeah, I realized that how selfish I am, and how I'm not sharing at all, you know. And then I have this epiphany, and then I have a solution, you know. So I decided that we're gonna watch a silent film, so we can both eat pretzels. So we do both at the same time. We can watch something together, and we can also eat pretzels together, you know. So I learned how to share, you know. So we both compromise, you know. So that's my structure, you know. That's how I gonna now I have the blueprint of my story, so I'm not gonna get lost, you know. I know exactly what I want to do, and that's I think each of you should do. You know, you should build this structure, know what your character wants, and then you build like a paradigm with all these points here. You know, use that as as a way for a starting point for you to build your paradigm. You know, and so as soon as we're done with that, we're going to start thumbnailing, you know. So thanks so much, and I hope that was helpful for so we can keep moving along. Thanks so much.